Hey everybody, so in today's quick tip, we're going to take a look at machining our counterbore slot here, some of the different toolpaths that you can use. This is a relatively small part and there's some restrictions. So let's go ahead and dive right in and take a look at what toolpaths we can use to accomplish machining this slot. To begin with, let's take a look at the through slot. The first one that I did here is just a profile routine. This is called contour ramping. You can select any profile that you want. You can define an angle or a depth per pass, and we could use this toolpath to come in here and to clean out this slot as quickly as we can and come on out. So that's the first routine. This is called contour ramping. If we edit our feature and we look at our patterns here, you can see contour ramping is the option that we're using. And again, for our parameters, we have a 5-degree angle here for the ramp, but we could also set that to a more aggressive or a less aggressive value. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next one, I do a slot as well. Again, I'm using contour ramping. Okay, what's a little different about this one is based on center line. And what we'll see is the tool just ramps back and forth. In order to do a ramp cycle like this, either the width of the slot needs to be the width of the tool, or in this example, what I did is I just created just a centerline path here that I wanted the tool to follow. The difference with this one is under the patterns, I did turn my system compensation off, so I'm cutting right on center line, and this will allow the tool to just zigzag back and forth following the geometry that you selected in order to cut out the through slot here. Okay, the next one that I looked at, this is a Morph Spiral routine. So this is a pocketing routine. If we look under patterns, you can see this is an advanced pocket. This is a Morph Spiral. And what we're doing here is the tool is going to come down and then it's going to spiral its way out in order to open up the slot. And then we repeat this a couple of times for each depth to get down to the bottom. So you can see we come back up, come back down, morph spiral out, and repeat this for each depth of cut that we wanted. So these are 3 toolpaths that you could use to create your through slot. If we go to the next routine, this is where we're working with the counterbore here. On the first routine, again, I use that morph spiral. Again, this is a pocketing routine. So if we look under patterns, I'm using morph spiral. When we look at the feature, we can say how deep it's going to go. And again, what this is going to do is just open up that boundary starting from the center and morphing its way out in order to get to our outside diameter. Okay, so a morph spiral would be a good toolpath to use to open up that slot. If you're looking for something a little more traditional, what you can do is use a profile with side roughing. We can tell it how much stock is remaining and how many passes we want to take that in. In this example, you can see how the tool will lead in, it's going to run around, it steps over and repeats the process for each path and then comes back out. Okay, the final one that I'm looking at here, this is an open inside pocket. If we edit this feature here and we come under if we come under patterns, you can see this is set to adaptive roughing. I do have it set to single direction cutting. The caveat here, in order to pick this up as an inside open boundary, what you'll need to do is select the through slot geometry and change that to a dotted line. So chain select it, modify attributes, line style, and dotted. Any dotted line will work. Using that kind of boundary, the software will know where the material is left, and using an adaptive style, it will come in off the material and then work its way into the wall in a tricordial style fashion. Now I do have this cutting in single direction. If you wanted, you could make this a bi-directional cut. So those are the 3 toolpaths that we have here. Again, for the through slot, we're just using a contour ramp as one example, a contoured ramp with no compensation and a centerline path, or a morph spiral pocket with multiple depths to get down to the bottom. In In order to machine the counterbore, either we're using a Morph Spiral pocket to start in the center and work its way out, a profile with side roughing where we're telling it how much material is on the wall and how many passes to take it in, or in the final one here using an adaptive roughing routine with an inside open boundary to tell the software where material is left and machining out from there. Now, if you guys missed the first video on how to draw this part, I'll throw a card up here so we can link to that video. Otherwise, it'd be great to get some feedback below if you want to comment what strategies you typically use for this type of example and failures or successes you've had. That'd be great. I'll be looking forward to reading those comments.